Understanding thin as a twig, a phrase explained. Hello everyone, and welcome to our English language learning series. Today, we're diving into the interesting phrase, thin as a twig. This phrase is a simile, a figure of speech that compares two different things. Let's explore its meaning, usage, and origins together. Stay tuned to become more confident in using this phrase in English conversations. Thin as a twig is a simile used to describe something or someone that is very slender or skinny. Twigs are small, thin branches of a tree or bush, often delicate and fragile. When we use this phrase, we draw a comparison to the slimness of a twig. It's a vivid way to create a mental image of something extremely slender. To understand how to use thin as a twig in conversation or writing, let's look at some examples. After her long illness, she became thin as a twig. The new sapling in my garden is as thin as a twig. He was a tall man, thin as a twig, moving gracefully in the wind. The old wooden fence was supported by posts thin as twigs. Notice how the phrase can describe people, plants, or objects, emphasizing their slender nature. The phrase, thin as a twig, has been in use for many centuries. Its origin lies in the natural world, where twigs are commonly observed as thin and fragile. Over time, this visual observation turned into a metaphorical expression in the English language. It's a great example of how language can draw from everyday observations to create expressive idioms and similes. When using thin as a twig, it's important to be sensitive to the context. In some situations, especially when referring to people, it might be seen as commenting on someone's physical appearance, which can be sensitive. Always use this phrase with consideration and kindness. Thank you for joining us in exploring the phrase, thin as a twig. We hope this video has enriched your understanding and usage of this colorful English simile. Remember, language is a window into culture and history, and each phrase has its own story. Keep learning and exploring, and see you in our next video.